All right, traders, welcome into another mighty recap. Today we have another green day in our hands, and as promised, the daily recaps are back. I'm going to be showing up every day, whether if I have a green day or a red day, showing you the stocks I traded, how much money I've made or lost. And I'm happy to be back, to be honest. The recaps is something that I missed. It's a lot of fun to make, but it's also very helpful because it forced me to come back into the office to review my trades, to review the tickers that I've traded, and also, and probably most importantly, to make a game plan of for the next trading session, which is of course tomorrow. Green day today, Tuesday, 11th of August, 2026. I am up $2,885. As you can see, a better start to the day. I didn't go red immediately right after sitting down and starting to trade, which is something that I did do yesterday. And today that was my goal, right? There's this thing called daily report cards that I do every single day. It's a feature that we have here in MOREDGE where you can pretty much do study sessions on your own, right? And this is kind of like a guided study session. What was your primary goal today, right? For me, that goal today was to not start the day red, to actually be disciplined enough to wait for an A quality setup to show up. It seems like your first trade is very important because for whatever reason, your first trade almost always dictates how the day is going to go. So for me tomorrow, I'm going to prioritize that icebreaker trade. It has to be of absolute standards. It has to be an A+ setups. It has to be one of my 2 A quality easy money trades. Because once you break the ice, it's kind of hard to go back into, a no trade day mindset, or kind of like a sitting tight, waiting mindset, like a patience mindset, right? So breaking the ice has to be like important. And tomorrow, part of the reason why I was successful today was because I prioritized that first trade. I sat for the first 30, 45 minutes just observing, watching the flow, watching the stocks. And only until something looked good enough is when I pulled the trigger. But anyways, these guided meditations are amazing. As part of 8-figure protocol, which is me tracking my journey to becoming an 8-figure trader, as part of doing that, completing a daily report card or a daily study session like the ones you see right here is a must, right? And this sounds silly and sounds like, oh, it sounds like you already know off the top of your head what is the things that you need to improve upon for the next trading session. It's like, oh, I know I made a stupid trade over there, and I know that I made that silly mistake over here, and I just know if tomorrow I'm more patient, I'm going to be successful. That's not good enough. You actually have to sit down and go through every single trade and fill all these in, right? My mic going to the depths. All right, reminders and amorphisms for yourself, right? These are notes that you're leaving for your future self. Tomorrow morning, what do I want to be reminded of, right? You put that right here. Then you can actually evaluate every single trading segment, right? This is something pretty cool that I learned again from Lance, the one Lance B. You actually can split up a day into multiple days, right? Why would you do that? Well, because that way you have the ability of starting fresh every single hour rather than every single day. You know how when we have a big red day, that's kind of like that space between your red day, you go to sleep, and then the day after, it gives you like a reset, right? And the mistakes that you fell victim to yesterday are easier to avoid today, right? Because there's that separation. If you start tracking your days as, one day has 4 days in it, or 4 different segments in it, you now have the opportunity to be green 4 times, right? And even if you botch the first hour, let's say you're red on the first hour, even if you botch the second hour, right? Normally, a beginner trader would think, well, there's no way I'm going to salvage this day, right? A red day is a red day anyways. Who cares if it's a small red day? Might as well, continue to screw it up and make it a big red day. Like red is red anyways. No, now you have the ability of starting fresh, right? So I can start fresh at 8 again, right? I can start fresh at 9:30 again. And I have like these separate windows where if I absolutely bombed the 7:30 to 8:30 window, I can give myself a fresh start and try to at least, follow the rules for that 1 hour. So that's huge. That's been huge, really helpful for me. And that's something you can track here on the report cards. Finally, what I've learned from today, what did I successfully improve upon? Your daily overview, kind of like a summary. This is essentially your own daily recap, right? Part of the reason why I started doing these YouTube videos was because, I used to do them even before I published them on YouTube, right? Because these recaps are genuinely helpful and they force you to sit down and actually go through the reps. And then finally, you give yourself a trade of the day, the easiest money trade, and then you give yourself a score, right? How do you think you performed? And this is completely based on execution. It's not based on P&L, because you very well may have a successful red day in which you would earn an A score, right? And the inverse is also true. You can also have a terrible green day where you broke all the rules and that paid. That shouldn't be tracked as success. And on your calendar is going to appear like if it was a successful day, because you see a green day, right? But the A's is what matters, right? When I was under Drawdown Protocol, my only goal was to get those A's, get those A's, get those A's, because that meant I followed the new Titan Max laws. I reduced my share size. I only traded my top 2 easy money setups. And I played by the rules. That's what the A means, right? And that's all that matters. For example, here I had a C. Breaking a few rules actually netted me money, and that can be very dangerous. Here's another day where I had a bigger red day, and it still was a successful day. So at the end of the day, your goal is to have this calendar full of A's rather than full of green, if you know what I mean, right? This is where you detach from P&L and you become a completely probabilistic objective trader. And once you overcome that hump, that's when trading gets easy. All right. So let's take a look at some tickers here. FRTT was the one today, clearly. My biggest winner, at least, FRTT. The momentum on it was very short-lived. We literally had like 2 or 3 green candles of hard vertical momentum. We had another O-hat candle right here. We went from lows of 160s all the way up to 338. And that may not sound like a lot in terms of dollars a share, but if we pull up this percentage metric, we went up almost 130% in like 2 candles. It was an insane move, very tricky to catch, and part of the reason why we are hyper scalpers. Most of the guys in my chat room are trading with the tools of and the help of the level 2. We're scalping the tape, right? Because sometimes if you wait for a pattern, if you wait for a stock to hold, if you wait for a beautiful 5-minute bull flag, it doesn't happen, right? This thing went from 97 cents to $3 back down to $1.40. And I guess it is completely valid to say, this is outside of my playbook. It's outside of my strategy. I don't trade stuff that goes up 300% and then comes back down, right? I want something that breaks out, something that holds over VWAP for at least like an hour, and then that continues higher. That's completely valid to say, right? And I do take those trades as well. But in cooler markets, you can either choose to have a no trade day because nothing holds up, or you can reduce your risk and be like, all right, I'm going to jump in on these crazier algo spike type stocks, breaking news kind of plays, which is what I do, right? I have a playbook diverse enough that I know how to trade both, right? The quick breaking news algo spikes, but also if this did held up and we went for leg number 2, I would also trade that as well, right? But no second legs on that. It was just a breaking news algo spike. And I want to revisit what the hell was the headline on this, because headlines do matter. And if we see something tomorrow similar to this, I would expect a similar reaction. So FRTT is a Canadian stock. It has a 0.7 million float, so micro float, right? We're making the recipe of what moved today. Microfloat Canadian stock with news. Ford Technology signs agreement for the acquisition of Logia USA Fuel Integrity Solutions of Data Centers Company. Toronto, Ontario, blah, blah, blah. All right, so nothing. But at least you had news. There's another stock that actually had NVIDIA on its headline, and that traders didn't really jump on it. What was it? Was it GLE? I can't remember. Global Engine Group Holding Limited enters into strategic collaboration to advance space to AI edge infrastructure platform. See, like, these guys know what they're doing, right? Check out that headline. Strategic collaboration to advance space to AI edge infrastructure platform. Like, you can make this stuff up. Well, you actually can. And all of it is made up. It's not made up, but it's kind of like strategic marketing. I bet they do actually have an app that they're developing. And I bet that they're entering, you know, space AI infrastructure. But I can also be entering AI infrastructure by using ChatGPT to create the thumbnails for these YouTube videos, right? And is that commensurate to a 200% increase on my stock? I'm not sure. But this is the way it goes, right? And at the end of the day, we as traders are just trading the volatility. We're not very concerned about the fundamentals of these companies. Anyways, this stock, what I liked was that we broke over and held the 200 EMA, this huge magenta line that you see right here, and then we ran and made a new high right there on that candle, giving us a nice little trade. From there, I traded WXM, is the only stock that I'm red on. And this is the type of stock that I go red very quickly on for a few reasons. First, it's a Chinese stock with no news, but that doesn't stop me from trading it. What I don't like about these type of stocks is that I don't get to participate from the very beginning. I'm sitting down at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the stock has already started moving at 4 a.m. Already is extended up 150%. It already gave leg number 1 at 4 a.m., leg number 2 at 5 a.m., leg number 3 at 6 a.m., right? And now I'm sitting here 7 a.m. and it's like, well, what now? Do I break the ice on this, knowing that I'm very late to the party? I don't even know how the stock moves. It's already extended. Most traders, especially European traders, are the ones that trade this, because I'm not sure if people in the US are waking up at 3 or 4 a.m. to trade. So European traders have made their money. Asian traders have made their money, and they're gone, right? So here I am, kind of like half asleep, trying to see if I want to get stopped in this false breakout or in this one. So a huge X, a huge reminder that this was a China no news, primarily to kind of like warn our chat room members, like, hello, this is no news stock already extended up 200%. Probably not the best stock to break the ice on. And I successfully avoided it, which is, I genuinely believe, why I didn't start deep in the red. Because this could have been me, right? Right here. You know, like half asleep, super tunnel vision, thinking, here we go. High day breakout. If we break 1174, we can go all the way up to 13 or whatever. And then it's like, whoa, you know, I lose 2,000 bucks and I'm instantly very close to max loss. And then I ask myself, why did this high day breakout didn't work? Well, if you zoom out a bit, it didn't work because it is like the fifth one, right? It is the fifth one after the breaking news event, which it didn't even have because it doesn't have news. And it's very obvious in hindsight, but in the moment it's hard to gauge. So tomorrow my goal is the same, to come into the market with a little skepticism, thinking, you know, if there's something that started moving at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., I won't really care for it. I'm gonna be sitting tight and waiting for something fresh. It seems like I always underperform on these anyways, and I start the day red on these. So, I might as well completely avoid them. So tomorrow I will sit down. You will too at 7 a.m. and there's gonna be a stock already up 97%. China no news, and then what? Like, do I trade it? Do I wait? Then of course the risk of nothing else showing up. Now you feel like a moron missing the first few mediocre setups that the stock did give. But I think that pain is better than the pain of starting red and starting with a big fumble, because if you start with a big fumble, you can snowball quick into a stupid day. But if you're patient for a few hours and then eventually miss the only mediocre setups that we have, worst case scenario, you have a no trade day, you have a small red day, small green day, like it doesn't really matter. So, I'm going to choose that pill for tomorrow and just play defense and be very like nonchalant about it. It's like, hey, I'm rich. I don't need to trade today, right? So I'm just gonna be like hanging out in the chat room, going through some emails. Obviously, I'm going to have the scanners up and be like, no, no. Start at 4 a.m. No. No news. No. It started at 6 a.m. No. It started after hours. No. Continuation stock. No. And I'll be like, it's a no trade day. Until breaking news, fresh stock at 7:30. Something with Nvidia and AI up 100%. First pullback. I'm in. Up 200%. Now the mighty in the green. Now the mighty in the green. Right? So that's the game plan for me tomorrow. And yeah. And I think that's going to do it for the recap. Thanks for watching. If you want to check out this trade tracker that I'm utilizing every day to track my trades, to do my recaps, to do my review sessions, check it out in the description. We're doing 50% off for new members. And if also you want to learn the hyper scalping strategy, check a few of the links in the description down below. We'll be happy to have you in the chat room. We'll be happy to have you joining our courses and joining our daily live streams. And if not, if you're going to continue to be a rogue trader, fair enough. But just be very careful with these China no news. Like these are stocks that their only goal is to take money from your pockets and put them into theirs. These are incredibly risky stocks with no fundamental reason to be up this much. False breakouts everywhere. They are probably selling millions of shares behind the scenes. And us retail traders trying to make a living off of the markets are the ones paying for that. So just be very careful. Don't get stuffed in a false breakout. Probably avoid trading something without news. But of course, none of this is financial advice. At the end of the day, I'm just a random guy in the internet. So please do your own due diligence and be very careful, because the markets are merciless and trading is very risky. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, and I guess every day for a very long time, for better or for worse. All right, see you later.